ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, the 27th of November. I want to apologize for the length that it has taken for this episode to come out. The reason is I was working all day Saturday in the house. I had to go to work on Sunday. Thank goodness for German holidays and Sunday pay. I made 150% on my bonus, and it was just great. So I had a really good time doing that. I was working again in the house yesterday. I got the day off because of the Sunday work, and now I am here talking in your ears. The King of the Coin Lickers is back on the air, baby. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Global Detection Adventures podcast. You guys are the reason that this thing happens. You are the fuel that flies this aircraft. Thank you so much for tuning in. There are so many more that you guys could be watching or listening to, rather. And you guys have tuned into this one, and this is a good one. Today we're going to be talking about German metal! No, not really. We're not going to be talking about heavy metal, but we are going to be talking about metal detecting in Germany. This is going to be a good episode. I know that you guys are, kind of a lot of times have questions about exactly what it is that I do over here and how easy or hard it is to metal detect over here. So I want to kind of go over some of the stuff and let you guys know. But first of all, it's that time of the year. It's late November. I know a lot of the American guys out there and gals, you're out there, you're walking around the fields and just really hating yourself for overindulging yourselves on Thanksgiving. Well, that's the purpose of Thanksgiving, isn't it? You know, you get to eat the turkey and the ham and whatever else, the cranberries with the rings from the can. And now you got to suffer and walk around and work it off. Hey, it's not all peas and carrots all the time. It's not just eating and football. Sometimes you got to actually, work off the excess that you had. And you got about 3 weeks before Christmas, so you got to work it off quick because you're about to do it again. Anyway, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And for those of you who do it, if you survived Black Friday, then good on you. That's really good. We are doing this. I'm going to see if I can get a friend of ours in and see if she wants to talk. But anyway, we got a lot going on today, a whole lot going on today. Now, I haven't personally been able to get out metal detecting, so I've been living vicariously through each and every single one of you. You guys have been giving me the reason to actually keep coming back on, and I want to thank each and every single one of you guys for sharing everything that you guys have got. People like Ron Morrison, who was out heavy metal detecting a field, a park from the 1870s, and he found it looks like a seated quarter. It's just unbelievable. That's a great find right there. I'm really, really excited for him on that one. That's beautiful. One of them, I'm not entirely sure what this one is. It doesn't have anything. It looks like it's monogrammed. It might be the seated quarter. They might have filed off the back and monogrammed the back of it. That's just crazy. I don't know if it's the same coin. But, first of all, let me go ahead and give a couple shout-outs out there to Detect America. You know these guys and their metal detecting podcast. Detect America, they are moving forward in life, and they're just such a great show. Also, Beyond Sight and Sound, make sure you give my good friend Josh, the love and support. His show just keeps getting better and better. I'm loving this guy. I love listening to him talk. Really great guy. But yeah, I want to go over a couple things that were found. There's a guy named Leo Bickel who found a 4.5 pound ingot of lead at some point. I don't know exactly when he found it. You can tell it's early. I'm drinking my coffee. But the one thing about this this lead ingot is that it has, let me double check this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 holes drilled into it. Each one of those holes filled with gold. Rather strange. Everybody's under the belief that this is actually a mold for, for gold fillings, for gold crowns at some point. But it doesn't make sense. Just like somebody was mentioning that the melting point of lead is much lower than the melting point of gold. So, it becomes quite an interesting thing. But once he pulled out the gold from the holes, you notice that the holes aren't very deep at all, and it does actually kind of look like it might be gold crowns for teeth. They're just about the correct size and everything. And I got coming on right now, this is 42. 42 is calling us directly from Australia. 42, thank you so much for coming on. This is, I think, the first time we've actually physically talked. Need to double check that I got the volume on this correct. Pardon me, people. This is just weird. Yeah, not hearing anything from her. That is just odd. Let me double check my audio here. Make sure it is plugged into the correct. Okay, there we got her coming in again. Let's see if I can do this. It doesn't seem to be connecting audibly.
It is now.
Oh, it is. There she is.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's my fault. My car has this nasty habit of staying connected to my phone when I just got home from work.
And your car is off.
My car is off, yeah. No, I've got a little aftermarket thing that plugs into the cigarette lighter.
Oh, yeah.
It charges and it's still got battery and I keep forgetting and I often make a phone call when I'm out of the car and I just can't hear anyone and I go, oh yeah, that's right.
Technology, gotta love it. Oh
yeah.
So, first things first, I think this is the first time we've actually physically talked to each other.
It has, yeah.
Yeah. We've been writing for quite a while. You've come on to the GDA, admin side of the Facebook group quite aggressively, which is a good thing. It's definitely the opposite of me the last couple months since I moved into this house, I should say, since I moved into this house. I've been quite absent lately. But you've been doing some amazing things, in engaging people all across GDA, which has been really fun to watch. Each week you post a question for people and ask them to post finds.
Oh, well, everybody wants to show off what they've found. At least I do. So, and I want to see what everybody else is finding, It's a global detection adventures. I want to see what's happening around the world, not just necessarily in Australia, which is where I'm from. But, I want to see what's being found out there. And I make myself really, really jealous of all of these really old things that other people are finding. But, it's really good. I just love seeing what other people find. And my favourite stuff that gets posted is the stuff that's fresh out of the ground. You take a photograph of it right there, smack bang on the hole or just in front of the hole. It's just that really does it for me. It's really good.
Yeah, I love that. I love doing that. That's why I was making videos for a while when I was out metal detecting, and I figured, one of the greatest things is Facebook has that live video. So I love showing it live right as I'm digging it out of the ground, or right after I dug it out of the ground, because I think that shows people, not only that you just are out there, or I hate bringing this up, but that you might have brought something out and seeded at the area with you.
Yeah.
Now you're actually physically digging something up, and you're sharing it with the world over Facebook and able to talk
sharing
and
that
communicate.
Excitement. And when I'm talking to my colleagues or my friends, I get really excited about telling them the stuff, and they just go, yeah, whatever, we've heard it all before. But seeing other people get really excited, it gets me excited about seeing those things as well. It's just like, and I can appreciate the excitement or the the happiness, when they find something that's really, really good, and to be able to capture that and relive that sometimes, it's a good feeling.
It really is. I do have a tendency. Like I said, I've been renovating this house, so I've been constantly busy working about 14 hours a day. I go to work for 8 hours, come back home, and I'm working. Took time off right now from doing the floor downstairs just to record this. And then at 2 o'clock, I got to go to work today, so it's really tough. But I do have a chance to actually pop in and take a look at all the finds that everybody's been posting on Facebook, and I'm just loving it. If you guys haven't joined, make sure you head over to Facebook and join the Facebook group, Global Detection Adventures, and share in the love and excitement. So, when was the last time you were out hunting? You guys are just approaching the hot summer months right now for you guys.
Yeah, so we're coming into our soil is turning to concrete phase, which is also known as the Australian summer. So last time I went out was on a weekend. We've actually had some unseasonal wet weather in Adelaide, where I'm from at the moment, so the ground was really quite soft. So I was lucky enough to be detecting, not the weekend just gone, but the one before, and just having a gas bag about what I do, what I find, and then they just asked me, do you have a card? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I do. And I gave them my contact details, and they contacted me during the week, said, would you like to come over and have a go at this property? So I did, and I found some pre-decimal coins. So decimal currency started in 1966 in Australia, so this is pre-1966. Wow. And I also found some old relics that would have been like the property equipment. We think one of them was like part of a lawnmower and stuff, and I just said to the owners, I said, look, everything that you see here that I've recovered is yours to keep, or you can keep some of it, all of it, whatever. My interest is purely in finding it. I get a real kick out of that, and I get a real kick out of seeing the excitement on the faces that you guys have when you go, wow, that belonged here, or I remember that thing, or some other aspect about the item. And they took a few things and left me with the coins, and that was fine, but they said I was welcome to come back any time that was mutually convenient for us. So that was the last time I was able to really get out, so that was really exciting. And they were both really lovely people, and I always say, if someone comes up and talks to you, just have a chat with them. Yeah, definitely. Because you never know where it might lead.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the things that I love doing as well. If I get a chance, I offer everything. I offer everything back to the people who own the fields or the permission and everything else, because it is theirs in a way. In my mind, if they want it, it belongs to them, because they're the ones that are giving me the ability to go out there and metal detect, and this is part of their land, and if they want to have it to show it off, that's absolutely fantastic. They're more than welcome to it. I've only asked for one or two pieces in return. One of them was the Crusades Knight Cross that I found. I ended up giving that to my mother as a pendant for her necklace. She now does not take it off at all. But yeah, that cross was about 1,100 years old. But the rest I've given back to the owners of the permissions if they wanted them. Other than that, I turn it over to local museums if they want to show it off.
One time I found a couple of dog registration tags from the early 1900s on an old. It used to be a sheep station. It's now a different kind of business now, but we were lucky enough to be allowed to detect there. And I just thought, these would have been part of the it would have been on the dogs that worked on the station. This is part of the history of this property. And so what I ended up doing with that was I cleaned them up and then I put them in a frame, and then I drove the hour and a half or so, however long it was to get there, because we were away on the camp and it took a long time to get there. But I gave it to the property owner and they were just thrilled. They had no idea, and they were doing some renovations and renovating the foyer area of the new business, and they've just gone, this will go perfectly in here, thank you so much for doing that. And they had no idea that dog registration tags were around back in the early 1900s. And I said, they actually had them in the 1800s as well. So they were really happy. And unfortunately I wasn't able to find out any information about the dogs themselves, because they had an identification number on them and a district number, but I couldn't trace any of that history through the local council, because the records were too old and not able to be retrieved. But so I just put a little bit of information about the day that I found them and stuff like that, and gave it to the property owners, and they were thrilled. So,
I think that's really cool. Yeah, it would have been really cool to find the dogs and the name of the dog and everything. And
it would have been so cool to find, like, if there was a breed or a name, and
I'm pretty sure it's probably an Australian Shepherd, but
I've got no idea. I'm not the biggest dog person. I've got no idea what dogs were popular back in the early 1900s. Just about every dog is popular these days. You're
like me. You're a cat person.
Yeah. I have a dog. Don't get me wrong. I have a dog. I love her. You may have seen her. I think I posted a picture of her on the website. She was looking out over the beach. But I do like cats.
Me too.
I'm a crazy cat person.
So yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, I found an old 1906 dog tag over here, which was really weird because even in 1906, it was 6 Deutschmarks, which had come to about $50 today. Just incredibly expensive, that dog tag. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
but as in to register the dog, it cost.
Six Deutschmarks at the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so in today's money, that'd be over $50. So it's just an incredible find for me. That's one of those ones that I found. I have one field that the owner, he's like, just keep it all. I don't care. He's just surprised that I can find so much money out on his field.
Yeah, I always tell the property owners that don't worry, if I find a little cache of sovereigns, I'll give it to you. Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
Sovereigns are, for those who may not know, are a gold coin.
Yeah, I went out to one of the fields because I left my spade out there. And so I was like, oh man, they're about to start cutting the corn in the rest of the field. And I was pretty sure that I left the spade right next to where the corn was. So I went driving out there, and the owner of the field was out there with his next door neighbor and the guy who had the harvester. And so I started talking with him. And so he was like, so what are you guys finding out here? It's like, yeah, we found on your field, we found a whole bunch of musket balls. We found all kinds of coins, and all of them from the late 1700s and earlier, nothing later. He's like, on this field. I was like, yeah. He's like, how are you guys finding all this stuff? I was like, we're good. But yeah, it's when I get a chance to talk with him, I sit down and talk with him and just amaze him.
Yeah, I do that too. But I'll talk to anyone about metal detecting, whether they want to hear me or not, I reckon.
And this, for those who don't know, 42 got into metal detecting to get away from another one of her hobbies, which is kind of one of the things that kind of connects us a little bit more. She likes Lego.
Yeah, well, we say Lego in South Australia, apparently.
You say what? Lego?
We call it Lego. Depends on where you're from. Other people say Lego. Some people say Lego. I say Lego.
But I think that's just a location. You guys also call it a Barbie, so I don't hold it against
A
you.
Barbie. Oh yeah, that's the thing that you cook your snags on.
Okay, now you're speaking French or something. But anyway.
Snags. Okay, for those of you who don't know, a snag is a sausage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be coming down there. I got a good friend of mine that lives somewhere down there as well. Plus, you're down there as well, so I'm going to be coming down there eventually. Drag the wife, however many hours on an aircraft to fly down there.
I think it's about 1 million.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you basically have to just go ahead and settle up your life and just come to the exception that the rest of it's on an aircraft. Just
make sure you bring your thongs and your sunscreen.
Yeah, I know what a thong is, though. I know that one.
You know that one?
Yeah, I know that one. It's not underwear.
I don't even know what you guys call it. What do you call it?
Flip-flops.
Yeah, flip-flop. Yeah, no, they're called thongs.
Well, yeah, I mean, the principle is, correct. A thong. The one we're thinking about up here in the upper hemisphere is it splits between, instead of a toe, it splits somewhere else. In Australia, it splits between two toes. So, yeah, same principle.
Yeah. I'll teach you all of the Aussie slang.
Yeah, definitely.
Too easy.
I got to do it. I gotta go do it.
And I'll show you a drop bear as well.
Yeah, definitely. I want to go see one of those. Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny because Kevin Smith was talking about him lately on his podcast. I was
right.
Yeah. Because he was talking about visiting Australia last year, and he was talking about the drop bears. So it was kind of cool to hear that again. But yeah, when are you heading out this weekend again?
I hope so. I hope to head out with a mate of mine who we've just dubbed ourselves as like the Deus Duo because we both have XP Deus machines. But he's like he's one of my good mates, and I'm very often seen digging with him.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I hope to be able to get out again soon. I got so many areas near me that I can go hit. I just can't get out there with so much work that I'm doing in the house. What's
the weather like for you guys over there?
Right now, I'm looking.
Able to dig.
Yeah, I'm looking out the window right now. We are probably, I'm talking Celsius, so we're at about 10 degrees Celsius right now, which is probably about 45 degrees right now.
I work with Celsius, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm talking for the Americans as well. They don't do that Celsius stuff. What do you mean 1/100th of something and 100 is boiling? That doesn't make sense. But, but yeah, so it's 40, it's wet, it's really humid out this year. I don't know why there's so much moisture in the air, but even now it's almost 9 o'clock and it's just a dreary looking day. It's just horrible. But, that's what I have to deal with in winter. The freeze should be coming probably in the next month. The ground's going to freeze up, so I'm going to try and hit some of the wooded areas prior to that happening and see if I can get 1 or 2 fields and then get the Schweinfurt guys out there, and maybe we can go out there in full force and metal detect.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. Well,
awesome.
Yeah, 42. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I'm going to finish up the show. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of the finds online, and I'm going to just kind of go over the metal detecting in Germany overall.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, you're definitely coming on more often than not, so.
All right, I'm up for that.
We'll talk to you again next time.
Take
it easy. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was 42. 42 is a really great person. Love her. She has been one of the greatest admins that we've had on the Global Detection Adventures podcast. Make sure you interact with her on the post she does. Usually on Wednesday, she adds a brand new post and asks you to share your favorite finds and everything else. And it's just really fun to do. And, you know, I love her because she's also into toys just like me. If this was a live video, you would see nothing but toys behind me. And, in fact, I have a Mobile Suit Gundam in my hand right now, which I'm going to set down because I should not be playing with my toys while I'm recording. None of my toys are to play with. They are just to stare at, which does not make them toys. But anyway, so yeah, that was 42 from Adelaide, Australia. Wonderful, wonderful person. Make sure you check her out. XLII Atkinson on Facebook. You'll find her in the Global Detection Adventures Facebook group all the time. She's in there constantly posting. One of the greatest admins that we've had on there in a long time. So I wanted to go ahead and finish talking about that gold brick. Now, the lead with all the gold in it. Now, once he removed the gold that was from it, which is not very deep, we're talking maybe about a quarter of an inch deep. It looks like gold crowns for teeth. It looks like they just need to be finished up and they can be placed into a tooth. But everybody keeps saying that they're not teeth. So it's really one of those odd things. I don't know exactly what these are. It's rather weird. And nobody seems to understand exactly why these things were posted in there. So... or not posted, but placed into the lead ingot. So this is going to be one of those things. We're going to see if we can find out exactly what it is over the course of the next month. That is a really great find. I am so happy for him on finding that. Leo, make sure you keep us up to date as you find out exactly what that is. If you guys haven't ever heard of her, which I don't understand why you wouldn't understand or know who she is, make sure you head on over and check out Kimmy Price. Kimmy Price has a Facebook group. Make sure you head over there. If you don't know her videos, check out Girls Rock Detecting. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful woman. You got to know her. Girls Rock Metal Detecting. Make sure you subscribe to her. She is constantly out metal detecting as well, and her videos are just so much fun. You just have to watch them. Siren Kimmy, as we all know her, is a great metal detector. Also, if you get a chance, check out our sponsor, Rutus, rutus.com. rutus.pl.com. They are the makers of the Alter 71, the machine that I'm currently using right now. I am putting this thing to the test. I need to get out metal detecting and using it so I can share exactly how great this machine is. We are talking about a mid-range machine that creates a total interactive metal detecting experience for you because it is completely programmable to the way you metal detect. It is not way up there in the prices like some other machines. You do not have to cut off an arm and put it down as a down payment on the machine. This thing is a great metal detector at a reasonable price that gives you the functionality of those high-end machines like you have never used before. It is a wonderful machine. Rutus stands behind every single one of their products. And for me, it is a great machine because I am located in the country directly next to them. This machine comes out of Poland. It is a great plant, and I want to thank every single one of the people that work in that plant and factory. Pardon me. for making this machine, because it has really upped my game on these fields. Even fields that I have been using the XP Deus on, this thing has been able to find objects and finds in the ground that I had not been able to find prior. It is an unbelievable machine, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. So please check out rutus.pl.com and go check out their products. And I know that you guys will love exactly what you see. I am using 3 spools, 3 search coils for this machine, and they are absolutely fantastic. What is happening is that this machine has actually given me the ability to go hit a lot of these areas. In a place that I wasn't really happy about with the XP Deus, because there was just too much trash, I got a sniper coil, and I put that onto the machine, and I was able to go through. And the reactivity on this, I have to say, really surprised me, because I was able to cut through a lot of the trash and locate items between trash. In fact, I found items that were actually underneath trash as well. Even that 1/4 of an inch that they were slightly off from each other gave me that signal, that perfect signal when I was metal detecting. Plus, it gives me a good 13 to 14 inches in depth. Yes, I did say that. 13 to 14 inches. It's just insane how incredible this machine is. I want to give you the website again. That's rutus.com.pl. I want to apologize for saying that wrong at the beginning, but that's rutus.com.pl. They do have English on the page. Just click on the flag that has the British flag, and you will be able to read it. If you are an English-speaking person, if you're Polish, good for you. You just go right to that website, and it's right there in Polish. So yeah, check them out, rutus.com.pl. Wonderful, wonderful machines, and sponsors of GDA, and I could not thank them anymore for that. All right, so one of the things I want to talk to people about is everybody's asking me about metal detecting in Germany. In fact, we just had some people fly over and metal detect over here, who she's originally from Germany and moved to the United States and then came back over here to metal detect while she was visiting family. But one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is that metal detecting over here is a little bit more difficult than some people might think. We don't have the ability to just walk into a park and actually go metal detecting. We need to ask permission in order to go out there. Plus, we need to use what is called the Denkmal Atlas, which is the Protected Acts website. There are areas that are highly protected, and we have to double check to make sure that there are no historic monuments in that area. A historic monument doesn't even have to be an object. It could be a spot in the ground, because at some point, at some time, somebody found a shard of porcelain that is from, I don't know, BC time frame. So it is one of those things that, if something is found there, they will put a 50-meter circle around it, and then we, as metal detectors, have to use another 50-meter safety or buffer zone around that as well, and there we can metal detect. But we have to double-check everything before we can actually get out metal detecting, so we have to use all these things. We have to physically sit there and think, okay, can I metal detect this area? Do I have permission on this park or this field? And which state in Germany am I in? Am I in Bavaria? Am I in Thuringen? Am I in Niedersachsen? I need to figure this out because in some places metal detecting is illegal. I am personally in Bavaria where it is completely legal. In fact, I can actually go out to a wooded area that is not posted or does not have a fence around it which says no trespassing. I can actually go to these areas and metal detect freely, even if it's owned by somebody. I can just walk into the woods and start metal detecting these areas. But if something is found in these areas, two things need to happen. First, I need, something like a coin hoard. If this is found out in these fields, the first thing that needs to happen is that I need to call the German Historical Commission, or the same people that put out that map that shows exactly all the historical monuments. I need to call them to come out. I need to make sure that the owner is informed that something has been found on their fields. It is crazy over here, the amount of stuff that needs to happen. But in Bavaria, it is so legal to do it. It just really allows me the chance to do these kind of things, and I'm so happy that I live where I do live. I mean, if I had been in places like former East Germany where it is still illegal to metal detect, and this is simply because of the amount of weaponry and explosives and ordnance that's still in the ground that hasn't been dug up since the wall came down. There was a lot of training going on the other side of the fence or the wall from where I'm at, and so that means that there's a lot of ordnance sitting in the ground, and it just sucks. I want to go out there. So many battles in World War II happened in that area, from the Russians coming down and the Germans, and there's so many battlefields, but I just can't get out there because it is illegal. But where I'm at in Bavaria, I have the ability as well. There are some World War I fighting areas. There are World War II battlefields where I'm at. In fact, right where I'm at is one of the major cities that the Allies tried to bomb in World War II because they made the ball bearings that were so important for the German war machine, including tanks and aircraft. They were all made right here. In fact, I'm working in these factories, the same factories that made these things. It is just insane. The same buildings that they tried to bomb in World War II, I walk in and out of. So, but yeah, you really have to double check the areas where you're metal detecting in Germany. If you're in a battlefield area and you find ordnance in the ground, that includes even a bullet, a single, rifle bullet or pistol bullet. The first thing that you need to do is leave it where it's at and call the Polizei. I know it sounds crazy, but they need to safely remove any of these things. Even putting it in a bag and walking around with it, they consider it transport of a dangerous object, and that is a jailable offense. So just leave it in the ground, leave it where it lies, and let the police actually take care of it. Just call the police, let them know exactly what you found, and it's that simple. Just let them go. Let them come do it. Let them take it. If you find explosive ordnance like I have before, I found a part of a Panzerfaust, which is like the German version of the bazooka in World War II, the anti-tank round. I called the Polizei. They were so happy to come out, so happy to just come pick that thing up and call the explosive ordnance people. They came and removed it, and just let me metal detect. Let me continue on going through the woods. It was that nice. Nobody cared. I was doing a service to the country. I was doing a service to the area, especially since not even 10 feet away was a bridge for a footpath that is heavily used, that people go walking through the woods all the time in this area, and 10 feet away was a bridge right next to an explosive tip for a bazooka, basically. So I could have saved a life. I could have saved the life of a child who saw something in the water and decided to walk down and pick it up, and it could have gone off. So these are the things that you need to worry about when you're metal detecting in Germany. Make sure, number one, you look at the area where you're at. Which state in Germany are you in? Are you able to metal detect in that area? Number two, are you in an area where you need permission? So are you in a field? Are you in the woods? Are you on a park? Are you next to a swimming area? Do you have permission to metal detect there? Number three, have you checked to see if there is a historical monument on that area? Because you need to double check that to make sure you're not digging in an area where you are not allowed to dig. Number three, number four, did you find something on that area? Did you call the historical monuments people? Did you call the owner of the fields to inform them? And if you did find something, leave it in the ground. For God's sake, leave it in the ground. Do not try and dig it out yourself. Let the historical monuments people come out and dig it out themselves. Mark the area and completely cover it back up so that nobody who is curious walks out there and digs it up while you're gone. Number five, have fun. That's it. I mean, the rules over here are really not that big. You just need to double check where you're at because of the legality of it. Other than that, it's not a big deal. Go have fun. Germany is a great place. There's so much history. I mean, I found, like I was talking with 42 a little bit ago, I found a cross, a necklace pendant from the time of the Crusades. The pendant is around 1,100 years old. 1,100 years old. Slightly bent. We know it's from the Crusades because it does have a Crusader's skull and crossbone on it. And a lot of people are like, wait, the skull and crossbones, those are the pirates. Well, no, the Crusaders use that as well. Most of the graves hold a skull and crossbone as well to annotate that they were Crusaders. And, this is, that's exactly how you could figure out that they were Crusaders to begin with. And a lot of the religious iconography at the time, yes, I used a big word, iconography, it was the Holy Cross as we know it today, and at the bottom of the cross was a skull and crossbones, and that was part of the Crusaders symbol. It was later adopted by pirates, actually just one pirate, and somehow we nowadays consider pirates to be skull and crossbones, and if you see a skull and crossbones, that's every pirate, but no. That was just one single pirate, which I believe was not Blackbeard. I can't remember which pirate it was that flew the skull and crossbones. I believe Blackbeard was a demon on a black flag. So anyway, yeah, I'm rambling on. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about anymore. Everybody out there, like I said, make sure... Pardon me. You can tell it's getting cold over here. I got the nose running. Make sure you head over and check out Rutus. That's rutus.com.pl. They sponsor the show. They sponsor me. And great people. Absolutely love their machines, and I know that you guys will as well. Also, make sure you check out the brand new Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine podcast. What? Yeah, that's right. Dave Sadler, my good friend Dave Sadler from ArchMD Mag. He has a podcast out now where each week he is talking about the top 3 news items each week. It is a really fun show. Dave is loving it. I'm loving it. I know you guys are going to love it as well. If you listen to me and you think, okay, Lance is a pretty cool guy, you're going to love Dave. In comparison to Dave Sadler, I am probably the most boring person on the planet. Make sure you head over and check out the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine. podcast. I'll get the info for that really soon. Make sure you send that. I'll give that to you. Excuse me. Make sure you listen to them. Let me see if I can locate it. Archaeology, Archaeology. Yeah, and see if I can get that to you guys. I know they're on Spreaker, Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine News. So just head on over there, type in Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine, and yeah, there it is. The weekly newscast, ArchMD Mag weekly newscast. Give you guys a little bit of a play of this one so you can actually hear this. Let's start it right about here.
The world of archaeology and metal detecting. First this week, fit for a king, the Staffordshire Horde helmet has been recreated.
So yeah, that's Dave Sadler. Make sure you check it out. It's at Spreaker, SPREAKER.com. And go to the search bar and just type in ArchMD Mag Weekly. You'll find it really quick. They're going to be releasing this every week. They're currently sitting at 27th place, so definitely help these guys out. I know you want to, so you need to. Kevin Ralston, Dean Steinton, and Aaron from South Coast Detecting, they have put comments on there, but make sure you give Dave Sadler a huge bit of love, and ArchMD Mag Weekly. That's ArchMD Weekly, and you will find that really simple. GDA will be linking that onto their site as well. In fact, you'll find that I just now shared this onto the group, and yeah, just make sure you give it a listen. I know you're gonna like it, and it's a really fun. ArchMD Mag Weekly. Make sure you give it a listen to, okay? And if they ask who sent you, tell them I sent you. Tell them Lance sent you. But other than that, yeah. Really great show. Dave does a really good job. First time talking on a show like this. He's getting into it. Let's give him some love. Let's give him some support. But anyway, everybody, you know what time it is. It's time for you guys to get out there. Go have some fun. Go find something in the ground. Go detect. Go metal detecting. Go bottle hunting. Go find some history. But the most important thing that you need to do, let's dig it up. Let's dig it up. All right. So that's it for me this week, guys. Sorry I wasn't live. You know exactly how it is. Check us out on the Global Detection Adventures Facebook group. That's Global Detection Adventures on Facebook. Go sign up. Come join the fun. Share all your finds. Let us know exactly what you got going on around the world. You guys are the best people that there are. Metal detecting is a hobby that I love when I can actually get out and do it. You guys are the reason why I keep doing this show. So check it out. Global Detection Adventure. Also, check out all the other podcasts out there. Detect America. Go check out Beyond Sight and Sound. And anybody else that I might have forgotten. I'm not entirely sure. I know there are so many more. You guys support them as well. And we'll see you guys very soon. Very, very soon. And from me to each one of you, let's get out there. Let's dig it up, y'all. King of the Coin Lickers is out!